Hello and welcome to episode 52 of the Nonsense Review. I am your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, maybe in the spirit of it being the episode 52, I could maybe be fumbling and trying to introduce myself with a bunch of different names, but no, let's not do that.
That is how you introduced yourself in the first episode, isn't it?
Yeah, of all the things that I was not prepared for, I wasn't prepared to introduce myself.
I think part of it was we weren't entirely sure if we were going to use our real names or handles.
No.
Obviously, we very quickly went, nah, fuck it, let's just call ourselves our names, because that's what we're called. So for those of you wondering why we've gone on this tangent immediately, it's officially been a year's worth of episodes. Today we thought we'd do something just a tad different, and that is reminisce a little bit about 52 episodes of the goddamn podcast. Rick, let's get to it. Out of the 52 episodes we've done, what do you think is your favourite thing that we've reviewed for the show?
It was actually a little bit recent. I really like the Ancient versus Modern of DuckTales, so apologies to anyone who thinks I've got an actual goldfish brain, but I was grinning from ear to ear for a lot of that, and it spoke volumes that even though there's the nostalgia of the Ancient, we both preferred the modern one.
Absolutely.
Another thing is, when I was pitching the show to friends that had not heard of us, and I was just sending them one episode to give them a taste, the one that I would send would be the Danger Mouse one, because just sending someone an episode of, here we react to the most British show that we could find, is quite an easy one to swallow.
Man, speaking of the Danger Mouse episode, that was a real groundbreaker in a couple of ways. One, it led us to DuckTales episode, which was a very fun episode to record, not even going to lie, but it also was part of a string of episodes we did very early on called Extra Credit, which, as we know, has now morphed fully into its own show known as The Retrospective.
I'll turn that one back on you. What was the favourite episode that we made, as in favourite thing that we reviewed?
I think hands down my favourite thing we've reviewed, because it was just such bollocks, was the Sonic the Hedgehog movie you decided to show me.
Oh yeah.
That was a trip.
It was a pre-recorded one for when I was on holiday.
But moving on, the other thing I wanted to ask you, is there something you've learned during the podcast that you quite enjoy that you've learnt this?
The one thing that I do remember is the Yeti.
I don't think that came up during a podcast.
I think it might have done. I think it was leading up to when we were doing the WWE introductions review.
Oh shit, yeah, the thing that never made it to air.
Yeah. We've got a couple of things that have been essentially cancelled, and that's one of the more wholesome ones.
The thing with that one is, it didn't get cancelled because the other thing that got cancelled because immediately afterwards I went, Rick, that was shit, I'm not editing it, it was crap.
Yeah.
But the wrestling thing was, when we did the Kenny Omega Sans intro, we did a live react like our normal review segment. However, we also did a thing where we reacted to top 20 WrestleMania entrances or something along those lines. And when I went to edit it, we kept pausing, so it was actually functionally impossible to edit in a way that was cohesive.
Another one I learned from that was the existence of Brother Love, the most red man in wrestling.
Yeah, that man is very red.
He's not quite as red without the makeup on.
But he's still pretty red.
He is still pretty red. He didn't know that he was going to be that red either, apparently. They were doing his makeup, he just thought they were giving him a bit of a glow up, and then he just turned out with a fucking tomato.
And also, he used to wear white suits, which fucking just enhanced the effect.
Yeah, I'll have to turn that one back on you as well. Do you have a favourite thing that you've learned?
She-Ra's a great show.
Yeah.
The only reason I gave She-Ra a fair shake is because I was just like, Rick, do you want me to just put She-Ra on the docket? Because you've watched it, you think it's good. You're like, yeah, okay.
My head got stuck on vibrate at that point, yes, I was nodding a lot.
Funny enough, that was actually near the time when we recorded the Sonic movie episode, because I binged that while you were on holiday.
Okay.
But that's all the questions I actually had. Do you have anything else?
One that I've got, in addition to those, do you have another show that we reviewed that led you to something that you weren't expecting to be awesome, and that led you to another binge?
I got you, man. Because She-Ra, I kind of expected to be awesome. I just was putting it off because, I don't watch that much TV outside of the show and new stuff that comes out, but that gets drip-fed, so you can't really binge it. But I suppose the most recent example, and you know it because you did it as well, would be Q-Force.
Yeah, absolutely. That's also my answer.
But before Q-Force, I know you also did the same for Owl House and Amphibia, which I'd already done before I introduced them to you on the show.
Yeah, I didn't binge them quite as quickly as Q-Force because there is more of it to do, and it was a lot easier to stick a pin in it, come back to it the next day, the next week, and keep the same amount of hype. Whereas with Netflix, the next one is right there. You just try to autoplay if you leave it alone. So same on Disney Plus, but you know.
But yeah, that will do for our little retrospective over our year. So for those of you who are familiar with the podcast, you know what we like to do is discuss our weeks, as we said earlier. So to that end, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Over the last couple of weeks, we've had a casualty in the Nonsense Review equipment team. Turns out it's actually a cable. So I bought an entire new controller for nothing. Basically, the only thing that's happened to me as a person. So I've ordered that, one controller, and another toy that's just come today before we started recording. The one that can hold your phone like a clip and use it as a screen like a crap Game Boy. But things that have happened out in the wide world, the two things that I've got are, number one, John Williams has been confirmed as the composer for at least the theme of the Obi-Wan show.
No, nothing bad about that news.
Okay, Disney are forcing him to pass the torch, as it were, because they just want to pump out so much Star Wars that they can't just have John Williams for everything. But it's really good for that they've actually put so much faith and stock into Obi-Wan that they're forcing it to be good.
I really enjoyed the Book of Boba, but on retrospect, it was just fan service to show, and I hope Kenobi is a bit more than just that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with fan service to show. I fucking loved it.
And the other thing that I saw last night that got me excited and then all sad is that there is a Monster Musume tower defense game. And then it made me sad because it's not the real Monster Musume. It's just a tower defense game with monster girls, but not the ones that we know and love.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. It's currently in Japanese.
It's probably not going to find a place in the Western market. Let's be real.
Yeah, probably not. But it's browser and gacha. So if it's browser, it's probably not coming to an app, and if it's gacha, it's probably a bit predatory even through that. So I think that's pretty much it for my week. How about you?
I have played a shit ton of Muse Dash. I'm pretty sure it was originally a mobile game because a lot of the hints say use 4 fingers instead of 2 if you want to be good, and I'm like, I'm on a laptop, can't do that. Yeah, it's a cute rhythm game. The art style's cute. The music's all fucking J-pop. I assume it's J-pop because Fubuki's in there.
Yeah.
Man, I find it odd that apparently at least HoloLive EN isn't allowed to play Muse Dash on stream, and yet they've got a collaboration with HoloLive in the game.
Yeah, that is a weird one.
Yeah.
They're also not allowed to play FromSoft things, and yet a bunch of JP have been just allowed to play Dark Souls 1 and 3, no problem.
Weird. But anyway, before we get bogged down in the politics of HoloLive...
HoloLive, as you were.
Let's talk about the wide, wide world. First and foremost, we've got a bunch of Netflix drops today. Come to think of it, we're going to be watching one for the show. The thing I'm interested in is Space Force Season 2 is out. I binged Season 1 when it came out. It's a very funny show. Looking forward to watching Season 2. The Nintendo. They've declared that by March 2023, you will no longer be able to buy content on the eShop for the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U.
So you'll never be able to get the DLC for SMT4 again, and you'll never be able to get Fire Emblem Fates Revelation.
To be fair to Nintendo, and this is the only time I'm going to be fair to them because I'm going to shit on them in a minute, they have put a statement out that you can re-download content that you already own after that date. However, what Nintendo has failed to do is learn from Sony, because I can't remember if it was a couple of years ago or just a couple of months ago, because honestly time is an illusion at this point, but the shit show that happened when Sony said the PlayStation Store for PS3 is going to be shut down made them reverse that decision almost immediately.
Yeah.
You can't do this. In the digital age, you cannot take this power away from people.
The only good thing they've done is given it a year. Like, they're giving us a year to look over the store, pick what we like, buy it, download it, have it connected to an account, whatever. Although, as far as I'm aware, the account that you have for 3DS and Wii U is the really easily hackable one and not the new Nintendo account. I think that's part of why they're taking it down. They don't want that easy hack access. It's less for deleting their legacy and not having to maintain a server. It's more for PR reasons. Something that's rarely going to come up. That's what I'm thinking, at least.
I disagree. It's Nintendo. They're fossils. They don't understand how the shit works.
Yeah, this is also true.
If they were going to do what you're saying, what they would do is they would find a way to connect the games you've bought from your 3DS account to your Switch account and make a virtual console on the Switch. That will serve as a replacement.
Yeah, but that implies that they could have done that all the time.
Yeah, but guess what? If they fucking sunk in the fucking costs, which they can, they're Nintendo, they can do that at any time.
Yeah.
They choose not to because it is difficult, it costs money, and we're Nintendo. Suckers gonna buy.
Yeah, the Switch can pretty much natively run anything that the Wii U had, as far as I'm aware. Looking at you, Breath of the Wild.
When the Switch came out, all of the games that were worth buying were the good shit from Wii U.
Yeah, so So Mario Kart 8 and Breath of the Wild.
Nintendo, get your fucking shit together and stop being fossils.
We know that most of your what they title as evergreen games are evergreen because they're well made. Don't just leave them on the console that they were born on and put them in a home. Let them be part of gaming history going forward. But this is falling on deaf ears because I'm pretty sure Shiggy isn't watching our show.
And if he is watching our show, he'll just be shaking his head and going, "Oh, these Westerners don't know what the fuck they're talking about."
It's like a less cute version of Corona just going, no, when told to go to sleep, no.
The very final thing I want to dwell upon, Rick, this is not a wrestling podcast. I can't believe I've been able to do this for 3 weeks in a row.
Yep.
Some actual big news from not WWE this time. It's from AEW. Now, I know this is probably not going to mean much to you, Rick, but to the wrestling world or wrestling community, it's a bit of a fucking bombshell.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes was one of the founders of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
His contract has come up, and the negotiations have fallen through, and he has left AEW.
He's left the thing that he helped found.
Yes.
Man, that speaks volumes for how a company can spiral out of control.
That's not what has happened at all.
Okay.
What has happened is Cody Rhodes expects to be paid more money because new people have come in and they earned a lot. Allegedly, I don't know the fucking details. Allegedly, they have got much higher paying deals than Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes is like, okay, I want one of those deals. And him and the actual owner of AEW could not come to terms, so Cody Rhodes has left. The assumption is he's probably going to go back to WWE and make a big old payday. However, what I'm secretly hoping will happen, but probably won't, is it's a pipe dream to say the least, is that Cody Rhodes has made quite a bit of money from AEW. This is undisputable, and I'm curious to see if it's enough money for him to partner up with someone and buy the struggling Ring of Honor. And oh boy, having 3 competitive top-tier Western wrestling companies would be a wet dream.
Yeah. Are wrestlers allowed to unionize outside of WWE?
In theory, they could, but the fact that no one's done it makes it seem like it's a fucking struggle to do.
Yeah, fair enough. Because if you have a third competitor and your signature gimmick is that your guys can be unionized, then...
Well, here's the thing, right? They kind of didn't need to unionize with AEW, because AEW's big draw is, hey, you're an independent contractor, except you actually are.
Yeah, like actual fairness.
Yeah, WWE's big fucking shtick is no one's employed. None of the talent's employed. They're independent contractors. But your only source of income that you're allowed to have has to be from WWE. You are not an independent contractor if that is in your contract.
Yeah, totally.
It's bollocks. You're a full-time employee, but you don't get any of the benefits of being such. Because bear in mind, this is in the States, where you get a shit ton of additional benefits by being a full-term proper employee.
Yeah, this is true.
It's going to be fascinating to see what Cody does. I don't want to see him back in WWE, but that's probably where he's going, and that's going to be a bit boring, but oh well. But yes, what we're doing today is very fun. It's a brand new show that dropped today on the 18th. It is the Cuphead animation on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of us have beaten Cuphead.
No.
I've played it. I've done the first simple lot of stages that are fairly easy, but that game's difficulty spike happens very early on. So, yeah, I'm excited.
I don't even own the game.
You should buy it. It's like less than 15 quid.
Before we get too bogged down in talking about a game that we're not playing right now, and we'll go into Cuphead. I guess it's Season 1, Episode 1, available on Netflix now. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yeah, I was telling Rick the other day that I'll be very surprised if they're longer than 20 minutes an episode, and here we are at about 15 minutes. Wasn't expecting a fucking claymation head.
I think they've got that in the game as well as part of the opening, right they?
I don't think so. Okay, immediately, this is not hand-drawn art style in the same vein as the game.
Yeah, because the game is, like, modelled after, like, 1920s hand-drawn noodle arm animations, wasn't it?
It was the big selling point. Oh, there's fucking Miss Grail that's meant to be the DLC in March.
Ah, yes. You said that last week when we talked about the Nintendo Direct, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, this is very like Bugs Bunny, early Mickey Mouse as well.
Yeah. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and all that.
A lot of people were actually giving the show a bit of shit because they said the animation wasn't quite as... Look at this! This looks like fucking classic Warner.
Yeah, it does.
Giving it shit for not looking quite the same as the game, and I'm like, I don't care. It's a fun cartoon. It's a weird mix of fucking art styles at the moment, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so like individual things like I think the flowers were literally just ripped from the game just there.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like, something like that is very easy to just copy-paste, ain't it, really?
Yeah. These are very cute animations. Yep, there we go. So the red one is Cuphead, the blue one is Mugman.
Yeah. Oh, play it as well.
Just old-timey fucking slapstick is what I'm expecting from this show, and it's not disappointed so far. That voice sounds familiar.
I'm assuming Elder Kettle is a new guy.
No, he's in the game.
Is he? Okay.
He literally talks to you when you sell your soul to the devil, and goes, "Okay, well, for the moment, just play along."
Yeah. Yeah, because there's the opening that they sing about the thing, the devil will eat your head or something, isn't it?
Maybe. Just important to note, there's no voices in game.
Yeah, he sounds a bit like Tom Kenny as well.
I thought he sounded a bit like Sonic.
Sure.
Damn.
Fence blown up.
Do you get it? Steamed, because he's a kettle.
Yep.
Oh, cool. This is the shopkeeper from the game, I think. He's literally a pig.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. They're going to the carnival instead by the looks of things. Which makes sense. Carnival, isn't it? Is the name of the episode.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea. Does this feel a bit Ren and Stimpy to you?
Yeah. But not so much the gross out bits of Ren and Stimpy.
As you say that, they vomit.
But it is a universal, so.
Mm-hmm. Soul Ball.
Never close your eyes in a rant and allow the camera to zoom in on your face. Because whoever you're talking to is always going to be gone.
Yeah.
Skee ball!
This is literally how gambling works. This is how you get someone addicted to gambling.
The worst thing is in carnival games, they'll normally try and do things that make the later ones succeed, but the first one always fails.
Well, Well, it's like the old fucking shell game. You always let them win the first one when they bet $5, and then when they bet 50, there's no way for them to win because you're cheating.
Yeah. Oh, I got it in the loser hole.
Yeah, so here we're learning the consequences.
Oh, he gets his soul sucked out.
I mean, it was called Soul Ball. What did you think the soul part was going to be? What is he even winning is the question. He's just getting the bright... This is literally gacha. Of just like, here you go, you get a picture when you win the pool.
Carnival, yeah.
What are you winning? Noises.
Look at that fucking Felix the cat looking motherfucker in the background.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Oh, fucking hell. I believe this motherfucker is the final boss of the game.
Yeah, the actual devil.
629945, and you can't get the last four numbers because it's going up. Oh, sweet, we're getting a music number. It's decent.
Yeah, he's rhyming not on the level with the devil.
Yeah, well, it works.
I love how he's even smug in his own portrait.
Yeah. It's very Robot Devil from Futurama.
Yeah. Oh, they've even got a robot boiler.
Yeah. I'm surprised they can use the term devil in a kid's show, in a U.
Yeah, well, it also shows up in the Bible, and you're expected to go there from, like, age 0.
You should not read the Bible under the age of 10.
No.
Well, so there's a reason why they send you to, like, Sunday school if you're a Christian kid, because it's like, here's the parts of the Bible that we can tell you, because it doesn't involve horrible, horrible crimes.
Yeah, here's the cliff notes of all these mythological legends. And we just tell it to you as a child so you don't think about it too hard.
I love that he's getting pissy at his song being stopped.
Yep.
Like, he's not as easy on the eyes as Lucifer from Helltaker.
No. Like, that Nendoroid that's coming out of her looks really cute.
I mean, that's already out. It's just there was such a big demand for it that a bunch of people weren't they couldn't fulfill the orders very quick, so that like they've staggered it into waves of release.
Sure.
I'm definitely going to get
new ones.
I'm definitely going to get the Justice one. I might get the Cerberus and Modius ones as well, depending on how much money I have when they come out.
Yeah, the Cerberus one might be obviously it's going to be a multi-pack one.
Well, because they're a Neo-Android and they're kind of fixed, I feel like they might... I don't know, they might be able to do something cute with it. That is an acceptable reaction to seeing the devil spawn in front of you.
Mm-hmm. And here's another thing with Nendroids. You normally get different expressions, but like...
Yeah, it's just faceplates, isn't it, more or less?
Yeah. Actually, that would be difficult, so it would be better to just have one, because they always have the same expression all the time, don't they?
Oh...
Oh, no.
Wouldn't it be really funny if this was X-rated, and the only reason it's X-rated is because when they zoom in on the devil, he's just got a giant monster cock flopping down. That's all I can think. It's perfectly innocent kids show, and then would that not be funny, or am I wrong there to find that funny?
It would be kind of amusing, yeah. But you could probably get away with a 15 for that.
Maybe.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, you're a lot of these animated Netflix things where you see someone's knob is just like a 15.
Like, it's... But that would be the only dirty joke in the entire thing. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
And they just don't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. That is definitely meant to be like Horus the Horse from Disney, ain't it?
Yes, absolutely. A noodle arm donkey.
That's going to be a cute visual gag, yep.
Running for their lives, grimacing, and then smile for the moment of the photo.
I do love how casual the devil is being while he chases them.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this video game! This is just a PG version of Freddy Krueger right now.
Yeah. All I can think of is Lululand from Hell of a Boss.
I've not seen Hell of a Boss. I've got to get on it. That and Has Been Hotel. I know you said the same. They're in the same universe, but
yeah, same universe, same creator.
No shit.
And Hell of a Boss is the one that's funded by Patreon, whereas I think they're trying to get Has Been Hotel picked up by a network. Hoist by his own petard.
Like, that's one of the key things when dealing with the devil in anything, is that if they're gonna be beaten, they should be beaten by their own doing.
Hey, oldie-timey telephone man got his soul back.
That is very gross. Why did the hot dog have a soul? That's concerning.
Hot dog. And he only found the hot dog tasty after it got its soul back.
The implication.
Oh, which is the one that has the sentient sandwich? Oh, it's Adventure Time, isn't it? Yeah, one of the gags is if you have a sentient sandwich, that makes it extra tasty.
Oh, okay. Okay. Boy, that's a shit-looking fence, bros.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the video game plot, but slightly different.
Yeah.
Because in the video game, they owe the devil their soul when they play a game and lose. And then, in order to get out of paying their soul, you have to go and gather a bunch of other souls that are owed by other people, their contracts. So, yeah. Okay, so the episode's 15 minutes long. We've got 4 minutes of credits, so it's actually only about 10. Yeah, the songs were cute.
Yeah, I also like the little bit of film grain idea that they got going on with the credits right now as well.
Yeah, they've kind of had it throughout the episode.
Yeah, but you see it more when it's on a black background.
Yeah, true. Boy, a lot of people fucking worked on this. Maybe it was animated in a more traditional style with this amount of people working on it.
Yeah, or like somewhere in between where it's each individual frame is drawn rather than using like what the equivalent of Flash to animate something based on a set of models.
Yeah, I feel you. That's still a lot of work.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, we're going to be a bit silent now because we've got 3 minutes of foreign language credits, which, kudos to Netflix, always giving out the fucking foreign languages for their stuff. I like how that last one only had 3 voices. But yeah, that's the very first episode of Cuphead. What did you think?
It was charming enough. And I was expecting something like Cuphead to maybe be a little bit higher on the ratings chart than a Universal. So it was kind of cool to see things that were very obviously macabre humor made for the game brought down to kid-friendly Universal cartoon level. Because it's based on really old slapstick that was a little bit dark. So it makes sense, really. But how about you? What do you think?
I actually kind of agree with your thinking here. Because at the very least, it should probably be a PG just to allow for a bit more, I don't know if this is going to be the correct word, but drastic slapstick?
Yeah.
Like, you do make a good point. There was a lot of stuff in that show that was a bit, on the line to maybe like push it over the cusp into PG territory. It was never ever going to be more than PG. Let's be real here.
No, it wasn't going to be a...
Because, like, there's really not that much difference between PG and 12. 12, there's a bit more, I don't know, peril, usually. And, but then again, the characters are in peril. The devil's after their soul. Here's the problem. We know the devil isn't going to be a massive threat in this because it's a you. The worst he can do... Well, he did take their soul, but we don't see what happens to their soul. The implication is bad shit, because devil and hell, but not necessarily.
Yeah, it goes to the underground soul tank storage unit.
Which was a terrifying a terrifying visual, as it were, on its own.
Yeah.
Just how careless, or uncaring, I should say, he was with just the volume of souls he's condemning to hell.
Well, that's kind of his job, and he's enjoying it.
Well, how does the quote go? If you enjoy what you do for a living, if you enjoy what you do for work, you won't work for a single day in your life. Which is a bullshit saying, by the way. What it actually does is it takes all the joy out of your pleasures.
Yeah. I struggle to try and make my hobbies into careers because I know as soon as it becomes something you have to do, it sucks any amount of joy that you might have had out of it.
I understand exactly what you mean because, okay, I used to be quite heavy into Warhammer, less so now.
Yeah.
And a lot of things people would do, at least on the side, was there's a lot of people who can't be asked to paint their miniatures.
Sure.
And there was at least 2 people in the shop I went to who used to actually take commissions.
Yeah.
You could clearly tell the motivation wasn't there because the motivation wasn't, I want to make the cool shit. It was, I need to do this because someone's fucking paid me to.
Yeah. All the hobby time comes out of it. And yeah, you have to bring your A game all the time when you're being paid. Oh, so it feels.
That was Cuphead episode 1. It was very charming, as we discussed. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and give out our rewards. So, Rick, do you have a favourite moment for me, buddy?
I think my favourite moment was the pig eating the hot dog as soon as it got its soul back.
Okay, here's the funny thing, Rick. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It was the funniest gag in the episode, in my opinion. It even happened during the episode of, like, literally half a second afterwards. You're just like, wait.
Yeah, it's like fridge horror.
Yeah, that's one of the things with having such a short episode to watch. watch is not a lot to talk about, so let's move swiftly on. Rick, do you have a weakest link for me?
My weakest link is the fact that the devil is showing up so early, and therefore he will be the main antagonist, and he's going to get team rocketed. Like, one of the best ways to have a villain is to not show them failing too much.
I get you. Like, the devil was always going to be the main villain, because he's the main villain of the game.
Yeah, like, it's one of those. Having him as the main villain is fine. Having him as the only villain because he doesn't have, like, underlings to go and do his stuff and fail on his behalf makes him less threatening.
Here's the thing, right? And this is a weakest link, so I'm acknowledging that, and there wasn't a lot to pick apart from this episode. I'm acknowledging that as well. But in the game, you don't actually deal with the devil until the very end of the game. You deal with a mini-boss who has a dice for a head, who owns the casino. And they need to make up a plot for the show. The show can't just be, go fight this dude. You might as well just watch a Let's Play of the game at that point. So they have to change things. That's the thing. They're translating a video game into a TV show, which I'm hoping it's successful for many reasons. Most of all, it will open the door to other shit.
Yeah, totally. It's possible that going forward, the other episodes are more in line with the game in terms of Cuphead does now owe his soul to the devil.
Yes, which in the game, that's always looming over your head. The way you're getting out of it is collecting these other souls and giving them over instead. However, again, there's a bit of a twist at the end, which I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, the fact that you fight the devil even after you've gone through the game, it kind of, like, it implies that kind of twist. But yeah, how about you? What was your weakest link?
Sure, that's it. It's I get why it's an animation, and it's a very nicely done animation. There's not a lot of plot. It's very slapsticky. They're going for that old school Warner Brothers Looney Tunes sort of thing. But yeah, it was a very short episode. Like, before credits hit, it was only 11 minutes. Very short. It's not a real complaint because it's just the nature of the show. That's how they translated it, and I think it works wonders.
Yeah, totally.
Last but not least, and certainly the most important, Rick, MVP.
It's gonna be the whole animation style. It kept my attention the entire way through. I love noodle arms, they're great. It's what makes me really enjoy the Steven Universe movie.
No spoilsies.
It's kind of bordering on favourite moment, but yeah.
Alright, you like the animation style, you like what they're going for, old school Disney noodle arms. I know exactly what you mean when you say noodle arms, so...
Yeah. How about you? Who or what was your MVP?
My MVP is the devil.
Okay.
I enjoyed his song.
Yeah, it was good.
I'll be honest with you, his chase scene was very good, and I even said it. This looks like it's from a video game, because it is.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Normally I really hate chase scenes because it's a way to have combat without actually throwing punches. The one that I really hated was the second new Star Wars movie. There was an entire bit of, you're just going through this casino planet and these people are getting chased the entire time. No one actually dies. No one basically fires a shot. It feels like they're doing a lap, whereas this was a good chase scene because they were going from trap to trap and avoiding everyone. It's like the traps had already been set rather than it being something that shows up as a reactive thing where something goes wrong in the world.
But yeah, the devil's entertaining and I can't wait to see him appear again. Alternatively, I can't wait to not see him for 7 episodes and then him turn up and be the final boss again.
Yeah, that would also work very well. Not having seen the entire series, we don't know.
12 episodes, and you can easily binge this in about 2 hours. But yeah, I suppose that's a fine stopping point as any. If you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a comment down below. If you're watching on YouTube, we do like to hear from you. Anything from how we did, what you liked, what you didn't like, and suggestions for episodes down the line. And if you're not watching via YouTube, but listening via one of our many Audible platforms, then you can send us an email. Where would they send said email to, Rick?
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
And all that's left to say, guys, is thank you for watching, and keep yourselves safe and keep yourselves happy. See y'all again next week.
Bye!